guys, Dr. Claudia Challoner here with Movement RX, and I'm going to be taking you through some prep for the push-up and the bench press today. So we're going to focus a little bit more on the bench press, but these, keep in mind, these are the same archetype. So when we go into that extension position with our shoulder, we need that internally rotated position as well. So when we're lacking one of those or don't have very good control of that, we can be causing some impingement at our shoulder and maybe some other issues there too. So a common fault with the bench press that can happen is when we don't, when I was talking about, when we're going down into that bottom position, also the bottom position of our push-up, okay, when we extend that arm and we don't have good internal rotation, what happens is this happens. So we have this dumping shoulder forward, okay, and then that can create a lot of impingement, a lot of extra strain through that front part of our shoulder, okay? So Ray mentioned in his video with the dip and muscle up a couple weeks ago, he talked about a lot of techniques to get ready for the dip position, and these a lot translate over into what we're going to be talking about today, because this is the same archetype. Now in the bench press, or the top of that push-up, okay, we are bringing our arms up into flexion, okay? So we are also needing to externally rotate our arms. When we don't have active external rotation with our arms, which a common fault will be this internally rotated position as we go into our push-up. So a bad example of this, so we get into our push-up position, you might even see someone that has a little bit wider stance with their hands, and they go down and do their push-up, and as they're pushing up, their elbows will come out, and we have this dumping forward position with our shoulders, okay? So what we want instead is to have that externally rotated position. Shoulders are gonna be actually pulled down and back. It's really important to keep those shoulders active in the push-up and in the bench. So pull shoulder blades down and back. We're gonna come down into that push-up position, okay? I'm pulling my shoulder blades down and back, not letting them just dump forward, pulling them down and back, and then pressing up in there. So when I'm coming up in my push-up, I'm actually activating, keeping that external rotation. So thinking about that when you're doing not only your push-ups, but your bench press as well, think about breaking that bar as we come down, and that bench press will help us keep our shoulders active and be in a safer position. So the first thing, the first mobility tool that we're going to talk about is going to be for that internal rotation. So it's going to be helping us out with that extension position. So the lacrosse ball is going to go just below your inferior angle of your scapula, okay? So you see the part of my scapula, we're going just below, not on your spine, off of your spine, just off of the tip of your scapula there. We're going to bias some internal rotation. So the ball is going to go there, and you're going to bring your arm into internally rotated position, so just behind your back there. Want to make sure that you're not overextending your back, so tuck that pelvis under, and you're going to work this position here. So I can just stay here, focus on my breathing. I can also bring my legs in and out, so I'm just increasing the pressure on that lacrosse ball there. And if I'm feeling extra gutsy, then I can even get a weight, 25-pound weight, 45-pound, whatever you guys are feeling like, and you can place that on your chest just to increase the pressure there, what you're working on. So hang out there for 1 to 2 minutes, working on that tissue. The next one is going to be just a basic pec stretch. And this is really good for you guys if you've been sitting at a desk all day, you have this rounded shoulder position, you really just need to open up that chest, okay? So I'm just going to show you on the rig here. You can do this in a doorway, working both arms, or even in the corner of your office. I'm just going to show you on this arm. So our pec actually has multi-directional fibers, okay? So it's kind of like a fan here. So we're going to be working all of these different fiber types. So here in this position, I'm just going to be working the fibers that are going straight across, okay? So I'm going to brace, I'm keeping my rib cage down, keeping my glutes squeezed, and I'm just going to press my body through, keeping it nice and straight. I don't want to just be overextending in that position there. Keep everything locked in, and then I'm just pressing my body through. So you should feel a nice stretch in that front part of that shoulder there. Now to work a different fiber, coming more downward, I'm going to bring my arm up a little bit. And then again, I'm working that same position. So I'm a little bit tighter in this position. So So just pressing that body through. And then the next one, you can bring your arm a little bit lower. And then again, we're just pressing through. And this one's not as bad for me. So, and you can hang out for a minute in each one of those positions, or 30 seconds. You can even do a little bit of contract relax. So I'm gonna press into the doorway or the pole for 5 seconds and then relax it and just try to take my body a little bit further. Okay, so basic pec stretch there. The last mobility tool that we're going to talk about is going to be a PVC, working on the external rotation, and I'll show you on the GHD machine. All right, so now we're going to work on a PVC drill for the external rotation to stay in a good position with our bench and that push-up. So we're going to just lock our elbows down into the GHD machine. I can spread my hands farther out, and then I'm just bringing that bar down. I can play around with the rotations. I can bring one arm down, working any tight areas. I can also change the position of my back. Feel a little bit of a stretch in a different position. Spend 1 or 2 minutes working that position there. If you don't have access to a GHD machine, what you can do is just grab a big thick band, double it up or triple it up, and loop your elbows together there.